Hello everybody, Sam from Road Trail Run here on the beautiful New Hampshire seacoast as the sun is going down. I just wanted to give you some first impressions after a few miles in the ASICS GEL-Nimbus Lite, and they mean light because it's about 1.5 ounces lighter than your Nimbus 21 at about 9.7 ounces or 275 grams. So this is in that sub 10 ounce daily trainer category. So it has a very bouncy, softer ride than you're used to from ASICS. It reminds somewhat of that Sonic 3 Balance we're going to have a review of soon. So how did ASICS do it? Well, the midsole is called flight foam, but it's a new kind of flight foam that's actually made from, in part from biomass with cellulose nanofibers that hold the cells together. There's also a more sustainability story in that much of the upper is made from recycled materials. So this is a relatively green shoe. So you'll also note the outsole is quite different than, say, on your Nimbus or prior ASICS with no plastic truss stick plate. It's a soft outsole. I think it'll wear well. ASICS is always careful about durability, but it provides a nice, soft, bouncy toe off with already just a few miles in, lots of flexibility. Now at the heel, you have a good traditional ASICS clutch, which is just fine in this shoe because the upper is really thin. The foot is super well held, but you can see how breathable this upper is going to be. It's a shoe that I think is going to put ASICS again back on the map, just like the Glide Ride did a little earlier this year. So it is coming out it has an 8mm drop. It'll be $150. It's coming in February. It's a really fine new contender from ASICS and really shows the brand is back at it. It's a beautiful looking shoe. There's that silver accent. We're going to be doing much more running in it, several of us, and we'll soon have our full multi-tester review. So how's the fit of our GEL-Nimbus Lite? Well, it's definitely true to size for me. There's plenty of toe box room. It's not a roomy fit, but the mesh you can see is quite soft, quite easy on the foot. There's also that really characteristic ASICS clutch at the heel that keeps everything together. The mesh is almost see-through when you take the shoe off. You've seen some pictures and some video of that. So it's a really nice fit, very secure, not overwhelming as ASICS has been in the past, just about right for me. True to size at my 8.5. So a little further into my run, and before it gets too dark, I want to share some more feelings here about this shoe after a couple more miles. Definitely bouncy, definitely soft, plenty stable in the forefoot, but this isn't a shoe with one of those hard, stiff outsoles. So you kind of get the best of both worlds if you're looking for something soft and lively that doesn't have a harsh landing or toe off. Upper is great, it holds the foot super well. As you can see, it's super breathable and isn't very warm now, but I have a feeling this will be a very good shoe for warm climates. So the toe off is springy. It's not a super pop, but it's very nice. It's not really a rocker, more traditional kind of toe off feel. Now, in terms of what I might compare it to, well, the fuel cell propel from New Balance comes right to mind. I think this is a touch more stable shoe because of the heel and the upper, so it holds my foot a little better at my true to size. Another one that came to mind, sort of surprisingly, is the original Clifton 1. There's a similar feel here, but it isn't a rocker based feel. There's a little less forefoot cushioning for sure, but it's kind of got that bouncy spring, maybe even the long departed Hoka Huaka, which didn't really have any outsole rubber to speak of, but here we do have some. And another one that comes to mind might be the upcoming Salomon Sonic 3 Balance. In terms of how it compares to, say, Nike Epic React Foam, way more bouncy, more dynamic. Although the React Infinity, which I'm now testing, and you'll see a video on the channel already, is pretty darn good. But this is a bouncier, more dynamic shoe. It comes in about the same weight. So a lot more to come on this beauty. ASICS is really on a roll here. This is got to be the softest ASICS I've ever run in, probably the softest ASICS ever. This new flight foam that's made from biomass is really neat stuff. It is a little softer, I think, than the Glide Ride, which was a bit more responsive shoe. Of course, that's a stiff shoe with a rocker that kind of really directs you. This you'll work a little harder, more traditional, but still a really, really fine ride. So looking forward to more miles in them. Got to keep going here before it gets dark. It's getting there. So talk to you soon.